Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now I know I said in my last Q&A video that I wanted to make another one if I reached 300 subs. Well, I couldn't think of anything else to do, not even a Discord activity or anything similar to it, and organizing a Discord activity generally ends up not happening, which is usually down to low turnout. So I decided to give this another go, and I did enjoy making the last two Q&As, so better off making something that I know how to make and enjoy making anyway. So without further ado, here it is. Most favorite Pokemon character. Diantha, hands down. Wouldn't go back on it. I don't think any other character in the franchise will beat Diantha's personality and character design in my eyes. Say what you want about her abilities as a champion, well, at least the anime showed off her true ability as a Pokemon champion properly after what people made of her from her game counterpart, and her kind, caring personality will always draw me towards her. Obviously, there are other characters in the franchise who share a similar personality, but I think Diantha's delivery and charm is what gets me most. Favorite game of all time? My favorite game of all time as of now is Eternites. It is one of the few games that came up on my Steam recommended list. It was a game with a silly yet emotional story, mostly well written characters and decent gameplay. The game is by no means perfect, but the game was enough to make me laugh and cry. Twice. I still to this day feel a bit muddled up about the ending. It wasn't bad, but it certainly didn't have me feeling good either, especially with the QR code endings you're given at the end. They left me wishing for more to happen. Despite this, I love this game a bit and I do not regret picking it up at all. Who's the best Pokemon character in your opinion? I would say Diantha again, but in terms of strength and as a character, I would say Cynthia. And for those who know Pokemon well, what's there to really explain about her? Like Diantha, she's kind and caring, good and good looking. Only difference is that she helps trainers along her way. And as far as her character goes, she's well written and balanced out, unlike a certain other trainer. So overall, best character in my opinion is Cynthia, and I like to imagine that the wide majority of the Pokemon fandom may agree with me too. What's my favorite food? Italian food, Indian food, Chinese food, so like, spaghetti bolognese, curry, chicken chow mein, and then it's burger and chips. I have more favorites, but these are the ones I can think of at the top of my head. What is your favorite wolf meme? This one.
My precious head ass boy right here. My bro. He looks like a teacher. He looks like a school teacher, bro.
What do I think of N? He's fine, I guess. I've never really looked into him as much as I have with other characters that are mostly never talked about or acknowledged even. But what I like about him though, like many other trainers, is his moral stance about Pokemon, which is always a good thing to see from any character at all. Favorite game ever? Even though I've already answered this, technically, I don't mind sharing another favorite game of mine, which is Terraria. I've been playing that game far more often than I used to, and it never gets boring when starting new games over and over again. I'd go as far as to say that the replayability is a tad better than Minecraft, discounting mods. Terraria has more to offer in the game, like weapons, tools, and more ways of playing the game. Sorry, that's just how I feel. To any Minecraft fans out there. What are your goals this year content-wise? Well, I can't promise I'll upload more and more frequently, at least on this channel specifically, because in my 2023 end of the year video I mentioned how I was going to start a new podcast and a commentary channel, and as I've mentioned, if you want content almost every 1, 2, or 3 days, go follow my Twitch. For this channel, however, I will still be doing the usual vlogging, gaming content as usual, again, just not often as it used to be. What was your biggest inspiration when starting your channel, and why did they inspire you so much? My biggest inspiration was originally from watching LEGO stop motion videos on YouTube. As a child, I was blown away by how it was done. Obviously, LEGO videos weren't the only videos coming out back then in 2006. While I didn't upload LEGO stop motion videos to YouTube, I still had a great time making them on my own when I was younger. Then as YouTube evolved, gaming content became a thing, which hooked me in even more, and since then I still enjoy making the content that I still make today. While no particular person inspired me to do YouTube, YouTubers like Keshin8 inspired me to make LEGO stop motion videos, not small. Point being is that it not only got me wanting to make my own videos, but also got me into animation in general. So long story short, the idea of expressing yourself through your own ideas and art online is something I wasn't past of. What inspires you to edit your videos in a storytelling format for your travel videos? 1. It makes the videos more engaging as opposed to just making it the regular type of video, be it gaming or vlogs. And 2. It makes editing any video the way I do it more fun. Obviously not all my gaming videos are done in such a way where it's like telling a story. I do it with games that I know I can structure it like I'm telling a story. And as far as vlogs go, I'll always continue to edit my vlogs the way I do. I always have room to improve on how I film and edit the way I do anyway. How old am I? I am 45. No, just kidding, I'm 23. Other than Eternite, what are your favorite games and why? Once again, I do enjoy fun games like Minecraft, Terraria, Rec Room, Super Hexagon, Geometry Dash, Far Cry 5, Resident Evil, and Painted Town Red, and almost any other VR game out there that exists. Now, even though I mentioned that one of my favorite game of all time is Terraria, I'll always prefer story-driven games over games that are fun. I just like being able to feel certain ways when playing them. They're more interactive, so it's like I really enjoy playing games like Valiant Hearts, The Great War, The Walking Dead, and Before Your Eyes. Just a few examples. Favorite MLP character? Celestia because of her personality and character design. Favorite has been Hotel Woman and why? Charlie Morningstar because of her personality and charm. Any art predictions for Hasbin? No, not at the moment. I feel the characters might be the same way next season, although I'd like to imagine Charlie may diverge from her character momentarily, and there could be a bit of friction between her and Vaggie. But then again, that's what I imagine. It's a little unpredictable in my opinion, like it would be with any show or sequels to any film. How did I celebrate my last birthday? I celebrated my last birthday by holding 2 streams on my channel where we played Discord games, and it was for the most part successful. And my favorite drink, alcoholic or not, my favorite drink is Coca-Cola. I can't drink alcohol as I developed epilepsy back in 2020. Thankfully, I never developed an alcohol addiction before I developed it. So, yeah. What is the #1 thing you wanted to do when you were younger? I mean, there were many things I wanted to do. I could say that being able to create things on YouTube and Twitch would be it, but that's a bit too easy to list off. I'd say the #1 thing I want to do, and still want to do, is make a short 2D animation of literally anything. As I've mentioned before, I'm still really into animation. As far as creating one goes, I still have yet to get into making one. I still have also yet to learn how to animate properly as well, which I will get to at some point. Is Nimona Sigma Gigachad? Well, she's definitely more Sigma Gigachild than the last partner everyone went along with in Sword and Shield, so yeah, I guess she is. Would you rather fight 5 chickens the size of a lion or 5 lions the size of a chicken? I like a challenge, so I'd fight 5 lion-sized chickens, as long as I'm given a weapon too. If you were bread, which type of bread would you be? I'd be a baguette. You can not only eat one, but you can fight with one too. If you could have any pet dinosaur as a pet, which one would it be? If it were to be a friendly pet dinosaur, it would be an Apatosaurus. If it was to be a killer pet dinosaur, then it would be a Therizinosaurus. Who got you into content creating? No one in particular really got me into content creating. I just watched many content creators in the gaming, animation, commentary genre, and then it was something I wanted to give a swing at, and once again, I loved it since then. I still enjoy doing it, so no one in particular. I just watched all I saw and then got right into it. Would you rather be a cowboy, a pirate, or a samurai? I'd like to ride my own horse, so I'd rather be a cowboy. Being a pirate and samurai is cool and all. Cutlasses, ships, ninja swords, and shurikens and all that, but I think flipping a revolver out while on your horse shooting places or at people sounds cooler. What inspired you to start a channel? Were there any moments where you didn't know what to post? Literally simply being able to make my own content, simply from seeing others make their own. And yes, there were moments of creative burnout, just figuring out what game to record, what place to vlog in, or any form of entertainment, especially with how you want to film and plan everything. 2 or 3 years ago, I announced to take a break from uploading, and I felt better coming back, but at the cost of a significant drop in views. Not that it matters to me, but making content feeling stressed out is never a good thing. So yeah, take a break when you need it. Drawing, content creation, whatever it is, always good to lay back a little bit. What made you want to do YouTube? Once again, being able to make your own content, having seen many people make their own, whether it be gaming vlogs, it's really fun, it gets my brain working. Again, it can be a bit tiring to come up with ideas all the time, but I don't let that stop me because I like to use my brain for creativity reasons. So, always about creativity. Favorite game I play? My favorite game I play as of now, even though I'm streaming Terraria mostly, is Far Cry 5. I'm literally on my 8th playthrough right now on it. The game is so fun for me, always being able to take over outposts and help me reclaim a country, it couldn't be any more fun. What do you think the biggest change has been in video games in the last 10 years? Graphics would be an obvious gem to list off, but I think the performance of PCs and consoles is a big enough change. Just being able to play games at a faster rate on your TVs or monitors. I know many have praised ray tracing as being a game changer, but quite frankly I don't think it is. Don't get me wrong, it's great to have more realistic graphics in games, but all RTX really is it's a software or a part for a console or PC that helps the electronics process more levels of light and realism into games. So I think the game changer there is making a part more capable of processing light and levels of realism, if I'm being honest with you. Virtual reality, on the other hand, continues to evolve in terms of its hardware, from having just a headset to headset and controllers with hardware capabilities, being able to make a VR game more immersive. And yeah, I think that's it for now anyway. Who knows what the next big thing in gaming comes. What are your top 3 favorite games of all time? Super Mario Galaxy for its story, gameplay and soundtrack, Terraria for its replayability and gameplay, and Geometry Dash for its gameplay, level creator, and soundtracks available on it. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? 100 duck-sized horses. Easy. Just scout on them and you win. Not that hard. I could probably win by accident if I'm being honest. Are you big into cycling? If so, what's the furthest you've cycled and was it hard? It's been at least a year or 2 since I've cycled, but I am still big into it. It's really the only sport I do anymore. And the biggest cycle I've done from what I can remember is the 100-mile cycle from Dublin to Trim and back. And it wasn't hard. But I think the legendary cycle I did back in 2019 in Portugal was somewhat challenging because of its hills. Thoughts on the whole woke agenda? As someone who's been in the YouTube game for a long time, what's your opinion on censorship and cancel culture? My thoughts on the whole thing changes every time because I've said things that I wouldn't think anymore down to bad research. And when it comes to stuff like this, I could drone on and on about it, so I'll try to keep it nice and simple and humanly possible. It is a load of bollocks, is what it is. It's what's ruining cinema, and it's one of the few things that gets people to stop going to the cinema. Or it's causing people to unsubscribe from streaming services that do nothing but push woke ideology. I have family and friends who have unsubscribed from it for that exact reason. And as someone by the name of Dave Cullen has said, Disney simply aren't grasping that woke culture has no support among general audiences. And I'll argue this for as long as I live. You're going to a movie to be entertained, not lectured. I never had a problem with inclusivity. I've watched plenty of films that have an entirely women-driven cast or an LGBT cast. I have no problem. I do have a problem when they decide to be so obvious and snarky with their messages that they're trying to get out, and there's no better example than Disney. I don't hate Disney, but I think either the people behind it need to get a grip and realize that what they're doing isn't working, or they should step down and leave the positions to more competent people. As far as censorship and cancel culture goes, one thing I truly hate is that when someone gets called out for, they do everything they can to make sure that not only the person being cancelled never sees the light of day again, but also is never able to work or do literally anything. Because what if the person being cancelled tries to make up for what they do, even though it's rare it happens? What if they want to better themselves, change their opinions and stuff, like that would be seen as controversial? the people that cancel them will just continue on having their life screwed over, and that just isn't okay for me. Because you wanting someone cancelled or cast aside their whole life is you basically saying you don't want them to get better. And when you don't want their ways being changed, or how they think, and you just want them to be cast aside, like how does that make you any better? You know, if... Anyway. The only person I can think of that is far from getting any help, or trying to make any form of redemption is Elysion, one of the most hated people online, accused of many things like child trafficking, grooming, abusive behavior, doxing, filming very sensitive things for views, and literally censoring or trying to hide evidence of his wrongdoing by false copyright strikes or posting lies. And his narcissism and his inability to be empathetic to anyone is why he is where he's at. If anyone doesn't know who Lee Sung is, and or if you want to know more about him, I've linked a video in the description. It tells you everything you pretty much need to know about him, who is far from making any redemption after being cancelled. What do I do to stop overthinking when things don't go as planned? Go outside, go for a walk, play games, watch something funny or entertaining, or sometimes draw. I had to do a fair bit of all of what I mentioned back in between 2019 and 2020 in my final school year, because my final year in school was a pretty tough one. What was the best and worst film I saw last year and why? Best film I saw was Sound of Freedom. From the direction to the acting was phenomenal. I definitely think the story was a tad bit exaggerated from the whole Tim Ballard narrative, but that's nothing new. All films based on events or people tend to be exaggerated or purposely twisted. The ending had me in tears, especially with the ending messages that came at the end. Say what you want about the film, but I loved it immensely, and the fact that Hollywood tried to hide it for 5 years is honestly just really scummy. I mean, talk about bloody fucking censorship. Hollywood has no problem releasing films that push their own ideas, but when a film that opposes their ideas is coming out, they hide it. As watching the film goes, I don't really give a shit about Tim Ballard, to be honest with you. I care about the subject matter within the film and spreading awareness about what goes on in it. Nothing more. Worst film I saw was Quantumania. I have never seen another Marvel film so bland, lifeless, and humorless as it was. Don't get me wrong, Eternals also stands out as the most boring and lifeless film to exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Ant-Man films are known for its humor. The first and second one, they were known for their humor, and I never once laughed at a single joke in the film, if you can even call them jokes. The CGI was awful for $326.6 million. $26.6 million more than Dial of Destiny. Unbelievable. And I didn't like either of those films, but I got some enjoyment out of Dial of Destiny only because of Harrison Ford. Cassie, Scott's daughter, was particularly unlikable down to her snarky personality. Not the kind of person I relate to at all. If there's one thing I enjoyed about that film at all, was Jonathan Majors' performance as Kang. This was the first film to Phase 5, and it started off badly. The only good film I've seen in Phase 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy 3, because it was funny, it wasn't lifeless, and the CGI was actually good for its budget. And this just shows every now and then that it's down to the writers and directors that are hired for the film. But then again, producers and executive producers could limit their imagination. So yeah, Quantumania, didn't like it. It was everything that a superhero film shouldn't be, and it was essentially a mishmash of all previous films. Sorry. Very quick note that I'd like to bring up. Do not be like those who say you don't understand why a certain film got bad reviews or why it got praised. Refusing to research or understand someone else's point of view is a very bad look for you. Because what if you're in a debate and someone makes a point about a film or a game on why it's scored bad, and then you respond with, yeah, it's valid, but I don't understand why. You've lost. You've lost the debate. That's you saying you don't want to understand why something isn't like or is like. Learn to listen from other perspectives. Learn to educate yourself why something is as it is. Why it may not be like or why it is like. And then, with all due respect, you won't make yourself look like a complete idiot by doing that. Because, I'm sorry, saying you don't understand something without even looking into it, like search engines exist for a reason, or get opinions from someone, there's literally no excuse for saying shit like that. Why did you RKO me in Party Animals? Because it was epic. See you later.
What was that WWE move? What was that? You just full on out of nowhere just choked me down. What was the? How dare you? I'm going to kill you.
Also, I think you just need to get good. Otherwise, I'll smite you again the next time I play it again. Will I be doing reaction videos? Not on YouTube. Well, I do intend on reacting or watching stuff on my Twitch. Doesn't require as much work, at least. I still stand with my point that making videos on reacting as opposed to just streaming yourself is lazy. So no reaction videos on my YouTube channel unfortunately. Again, I will react to videos on my Twitch. What would your ideal life be in the Pokemon world? Assuming this is more of an OC kind of question. Honestly, I don't know yet. But I'd like to imagine myself being good friends with popular enough characters in the franchise, with Lucario being my main Pokemon, and that I'm a decent enough trainer. Again, this is something I need to really think about later on, and what I do in my life in the Pokemon world. I mean, I still have yet to even draw or write my own OC character so far. Well, it'll get there eventually. Would you rather eat 400 calories a day or 10,000? Definitely 400. I do not want to be obese. A singular meal is enough for me. Even if I was to fast for a day or two, not exaggerating when I say that, I did in fact fast for 2 days once, and it only took me a meal to be all good again. So yeah. Where's your favorite place to go on holidays? Florida, hands down. I've made so many good memories over there, seen family who live there, all the things I did, the weather. Even though I won't be going back there anytime soon, I'm still glad I did as much as I could there the last time I was there, which was back in 2020. And even to this day, I still miss it, but I'm still glad I got to do what I did there for the past near decade or so. When will I be doing a collab video with Bro with the Flow? I've always expressed interest in doing one with him, but it's up to him to get back to me about it. If he chooses not to, well then he's a muppet. I think a Geometry Dash video between us would be good. So, Bro with the Flow, if you're hearing this, let's settle it. It'll be good. Trust me. Favorite movie so far this year? I would say it's the horror vampire film Abigail or the action film Monkey Man from an entertaining perspective. But I think The Iron Claw is by far the best film in 2024 I've seen. It was harrowing and thought-provoking. The performances, especially from Zac Efron, were stellar. Again, as I've mentioned about the whole Hollywood exaggerating aspect of the movie, I felt that they exaggerated Fritz von Erich's strict and selfish nature, but otherwise the direction and story was what really sold it for me. It had me emotional at the end. It really hit me fucking deep. Have I played Resident Evil 6? I played a tiny portion of it, so far I did not like it. I've yet to complete the original 4th game and 5, but with how much of Resident Evil 6 that I played, I'm not all that enthusiastic about playing it at all. But I'm still gonna try all the Ori games that I can play anyway. I've really enjoyed playing the ones that I am playing so far. Even the gameplay I'm showing right now is really something. What's the crack? Nothing much. Just chilling, making content, living life as usual, and going to the cinema almost 2-3 days every month, so that's pretty much the crack nowadays. If you could taste colours, what would Wednesday taste like? For Wednesday, it'll be lemon, because it's slightly bitter. Because Wednesday is in the middle, at least you know only 2 days more left till Friday. Why do we park in a driveway and drive on a parkway? We park in our driveway so we can get to our car quicker as opposed to having to walk long distance to our car. And those that driving on parkways are showing how psychotic they are as drivers. Why do we say a pair of pants when it's only one item? Because English is funny. If an orange tree grows 50 centimeters every year, how much hair will you have to remove when you cook corn on a cob for Thanksgiving? All of it, especially with how my hair grows. What is your favourite Geometry Dash level, and how many tries do you think it take to beat it? I've loads of favourites, but I'd say the new level Dash was my favourite. It was introduced in the 2.2 update, and it didn't take as many tries as I thought it would take. It took roughly around 40 to 50 tries, excluding the practice attempts. And as a fellow Irishman, I have to ask, do I like Drisheen? I've never tried Drisheen, but I know my dad has all the time and he likes it. I may try it at some stage. And that wraps up my third Q&A. Thanks to everyone who sent questions my way. I think I got more questions than the previous two. Even though some of them were the same and worded differently, it's still fair to answer them anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.